Are you a first-time home buyer wanting to know the 3 rookie mistakes to avoid during escrow? That's the topic of today's video right after this. Hey, welcome back. My name is Dale Corpus. I'm a realtor in the Tri-Valley area in the East Bay of the San Francisco Bay Area, and I post videos every Friday about all things real estate. Well, in today's video, we're going to talk about 3 rookie mistakes to avoid when you are in escrow. And for those of you who aren't aware of what an escrow is, let me explain. A home that's for sale has 3 phases it goes through. The first phase is when it's for sale. It's active, it's on the market, it's accepting showings. And usually if you're out looking for houses in your MLS and it says active, it means it's available. The second phase is it's in escrow, and it means that the seller and the buyer have mutually agreed to work with each other. The seller has accepted the buyer's offer, or the buyer has accepted the seller's counteroffer, and the buyer is usually already deposited the earnest money. So they're in contract with each other. And really, it doesn't make sense to show this house unless you're accepting backups, which it's another jarred in wine. And then the third phase is that it's closed. The home is already sold and it's not on the market. You shouldn't be looking at it. Somebody is living in it already. It's close. So the escrow phase is essentially the period between your house when it's for sale and the house is closed, and usually it takes about 25 to 35 days depending on your loan and how quickly everybody is working together. So the first rookie mistake that I want you guys to avoid is not doing a really well thought out inspection, or in other words, half-assing your home inspection. A home inspection will cover the majority of things. However, you want to make sure to order your home inspection nice and early, because usually what happens is the home inspector does something and then they go, okay, well, the AC is not working at all. It's not in functional condition. It needs a tune-up. And that's all they're going to tell you. They're not going to open up the AC condenser unit and do a full analysis of what's going on with the AC. They're just going to say the AC is not in working condition, and it's a rookie mistake to just stop there. You want to make sure you do more due diligence. So that's why you do it nice and early, because if you do it early, then you will have time for the rest of your inspection contingency period to get an HVAC person out there to do whatever they need to do. If your house has a pool, do a pool inspection. And no, I'm not talking about just clicking on an extra box on your home inspection and having them check the pool out. Hire a professional pool person to do a pool inspection. Is this more work? Yes, it is, but we're talking about ways to not half-ass things. And lastly, another inspection to do is a termite inspection. And once again, you guys are probably hating me right now because I'm adding more money on your overall inspection costs than you may want to spend. But here's the truth. The home inspectors, for example, aren't going to typically catch everything a termite inspector would. Not all home inspectors know what to look for when it comes to wood-destroying organisms like termites and wood-eating beetles, and they may not be able to comment on fungus damage and wood rot issues as well. So termite inspectors uncover these things in full detail. You want to have a comprehensive idea of what you're getting into before you close. The second rookie mistake to avoid when you're in the escrow process is the home appraisal. And for those who don't know, when you're buying a home and getting a loan, the lender is not just going to take your word for whatever the house you made an offer on. So for example, if you made an offer on a house for $950,000, the lender is not going to go, okay, Joe, here's $950,000, congrats. They're going to verify it's actually worth that amount. So they're going to send an appraiser out there to make sure that's what it is. And the mistake to avoid here is not to freak out when there's a low appraisal. Now, if the appraisal comes in at value, life's great. The realtor feels great. The client feels happy. Everyone is great, right? But what happens when the appraisal comes in low? So, for example, the appraisal comes in at $925,000 instead. We made a purchase price of $950,000. Now, the common misconception is the client has to come up with a $25,000 difference to make the deal work. And this might be the case if the appraisal contingency was already waived up front. However, if you still have an appraisal contingency, you have options. So my core philosophy of really anything I do in life is to turn negatives into positives, and I have the same attitude for my clients. So when a low appraisal comes in, it's very important to deal with it with a very positive and confident attitude, and that way, anything that comes your way, you're going to be able to flip it and make it into something that's going to work for you. Now, let's just say you're buying a house for $950,000 and it appraises for $925,000. The seller won't usually be quick to say, hey, I'll reduce the price by $25,000 just because your appraisal came in low. It doesn't work that way. Because they are losing something, a lot of times they expect a buyer to lose something too and feel the pain. Or they may even want you to go back to your lender to dispute the appraisal. So it gets kind of tough here to kind of negotiate through it sometimes. So I would say that having the same confident and positive attitude I told you about earlier, there's always somewhere to be in the middle. So first and foremost, the first impression you make when it comes to this low appraisal is really crucial. So if your agent goes and automatically tells the listing agent, hey, the appraisal came in low, here's the addendum already signed saying that we'll reduce the price. I'm so sorry, we try to give your seller as much money as possible, but it is what it is. This is what the home is worth. The buyer has no additional funds at the moment to come up with, extra closing costs. Let's get it done, and we could get it signed, and we'll be able to close in the next week. And that's a lot better than going in and saying, oh, hey, Bob, the appraisal, it came in low. What does your seller want to do? Don't put the ball in their court. Go in there, get the addendum signed up front. Assume they're going to make it work that way. Now, they might come back and say, you know what? We are willing to reduce our price, but not to the full $25,000 reduction you're asking for. And a lot of times what happens is they meet somewhere in the middle, and now they're only going to give you a price reduction, a partial one, for not the full amount that you asked for. And at the end of the day, when the seller gives you that final number, you need to ask yourself, is it worth it? And if the answer is yes, then figure out a way to come up with the money, come up with the difference. Be creative with your realtor and your lender as needed, as lenders may have creative ways that you may have not thought of to bridge that gap. So the rookie mistake here is if you handle it and you're like a chicken with your head chopped off and just freaking out and like, oh my God, the appraisal's low, then it's not going to be done right. You don't have a saying in what your realtor does. However, the way you present yourself to your realtor, hopefully they can feed off your energy and do that. Or you're working with the realtor ready to have this perspective. So maybe when you're interviewing for realtors, just ask them, hey, how would you handle a low appraisal? And that's something great to ask, right? A lot of people don't ask that, but anyway, have confidence and have a positive attitude when it comes to the appraisals. Anyhow, the final and crucial rookie mistake is not being aware when you're at the signing table. And I get it. Everyone is pumped up and just excited to finally be closing. Oh my gosh, it's finally happening and you're going to be signed, and maybe a few days later, you'll get the keys. Everyone is just so happy, but here's the situation. You're going to go there, you're signing all the loan docs, you're signing at least 100 pages, your hand is sore, but you want to really, really pay attention to at least the first 10 pages. The first 10 pages of what you're signing is going to go over all the numbers. So make sure the estimated statement matches up with the one your realtor or lender sends you prior to even meeting up at the signing table appointment. So there are no surprises, and you know how much you'll be needing to wire for the cash to close. Make sure it matches up. The next few pages in your loan docs you should be signing is your monthly payment. So make sure the monthly payments are the same exact payments that you sign in your closing disclosure, your CD. Make sure it didn't go up or down. Just really go through with a fine-tooth comb. Odds are you're not going to find anything weird, but you know, by doing that, you're taking those extra steps to avoid that. You're putting a lot of trust in these people that are helping you buy a home. And let's face it, you know, most people are great, but there might be some people out there that take advantage of others. So doing that extra layer of caution will prevent anything weird from happening and make sure that you don't get scammed. So if you found this helpful, do me a favor and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. You may also want to check out my past video on the top 10 questions to ask your real estate agent when buying a home in the San Francisco Bay Area. And the link to that video is on the top corner of the screen. Again, I'm Dale Corpus from eXp Realty in San Ramon, California, and I help buyers and sellers throughout the Bay Area and Tri-Valley, and I'll see you on my next video.